Okay, so um, this is a update on our position for our Tesla long. I'm making this video, two reasons. It's a fan favorite, a lot of retail in Tesla, uh, and more importantly, the landscape, in my opinion, has changed. Right, when we were breaking out above this multi-year downtrend, right? If we look at the technicals, zoom out, there was a catalyst behind this, right? People started to believe in Tesla. Trump was so close to winning. Elon starts endorsing Trump, right? Like the story will push the stock, and it looked quite promising with almost certainty, especially with the state that we were seeing with the Biden administration. It just did not look like there was any chance that Trump would lose. So now everything has changed. And not only that, there are some signals, in my opinion, in the market that are pointing towards potential weakness moving forward. But the good news is that if we looked at the earnings season, right, and I think everybody felt this and saw this if you're in North America or any sort of the Western world, it's kind of like the consumer was slowing down. People kind of felt it. And now last quarter's numbers are showing that the consumer is slowing down, right? So this is the first point of data that we are getting that's confirming kind of the feel out into the markets. And we also need to consider where we are in relation with asset prices, the S&P 500, housing, right? Things have rallied. The consumer is slow. Doesn't look too good moving forward. We need to see more data to be like, okay, this is starting to accelerate. There is concern, you know. That's potentially a scenario that I see moving forward, and we'll have to see how it plays out, right? Things can change on the flip of a coin, right? So you just never know. You got to be ready for that, and that's why you have to look forward and see what your risks are, because basically this Tesla position is no longer in the driver's seat like it once was, right? So another good part about this earnings season, or some signal that we can take, is that companies were quite resilient, right? Companies who generate revenue from other companies were even more resilient. It's just more so the consumer is starting to slow down. But if you think about it, 67% of US GDP is from the consumer. So it's kind of like, understand the risks and the severities that could happen moving forward. And if we also look back at history, right, you could throw up a chart with the S&P 500, and you could throw up on top of that basically the federal funds rate. You could do it on TradingView. And the last few hiking and cutting cycles during market highs have usually, could say triggered, but usually it has been at the same time near at around market tops, especially major ones if you actually look at it. So I highly suggest taking a look at that. I think it's somewhat of a signal that we can consider, and it kind of does make sense if you really sit down and think about it. So we'll have to be ready for anything moving forward. And in my opinion, a case that we can see moving forward is Tesla at 100. I know people don't want to hear it. Neither do I. We have quite a large position across multiple accounts, but we still do have the liquidity to buy aggressively if prices do come down even lower. So we do have a plan for this, but this is not financial advice. It's just like, you have to trade according to your risk tolerance and your specific situation, right? So the upside is Tesla. We believe that the future, primarily, at least I believe, it is in humanoids, right? So that gives us confidence into why we are holding this as a long-term play. And despite this going down to 100, we still feel that the risk to rewards for entering Tesla at 200 and be willing to hold this for a few years, possible up to a decade, might not be such a bad idea, right? So, and if you have the capital to throw around and you don't need it, you don't have to touch it, why not, right? That's your job at the end of the day. So you consider the risks, right? So we're looking at the risk to reward, rambling on here. Basically, the fact that we've broken this downtrend basically shows that the technicals are no longer in play. The narrative, we need to see if the time horizon for us staying at this 200 zone lines up with any sort of positive catalyst or maybe market bounce moving forward to actually establish this as a level. By the time even better catalysts or better numbers come out of the company, or maybe the economy has gone through something and recovers and shows positive signs of data, then we might have to see another leg higher. At that point, just trying to throw ideas out there so you're ready for anything, right? That's kind of like my thinking, at least. So that's, like, the consumer's weak, corporations are strong, the election is now a coin toss, and Elon endorsing Trump is a strategy, but it's not a incredibly high probability strategy that is going to work out moving forward, right? So kind of just thinking in those terms and being ready for what is to come. And right now we are ready to add exposure if Tesla goes below sub 150s. And on this confirmation, by the way, we did slightly increase our position size, but definitely did not go in aggressively. So we are aggressive buyers of Tesla when prices do come down. Yet when they are going up, we can try to add on the confirmation. But in our opinion, it's best to just stay light, because usually if the trade is crowded, it just won't work as cleanly as it once looked like it could. So just be ready for that. And yeah, so that's the thinking of Tesla. Random thoughts. I'm sure I'll have more ideas after I stop this video that I want to share, but just keep thinking about it. Don't marry it. Have a plan, and keep your eyes open, because if I'm seeing that the consumer is weak, the economy is looking like there might be a potential for an escalation of worries and maybe some selling. If I'm right, I could very likely be wrong, which I am all the time. Then I could be ready to act aggressively if the time is right. Set aside some cash or something, sell a position that we don't really need that's at our targets. There's ways to be prepared. Because at the end of the day, if you're running an account, if you're running a portfolio, this is not financial advice, but you only have so much capital to play with, and you got to see where is this capital best allocated for this moment in time, and how long will it be? How long will that moment of time be? Right? So it just rambling, just throwing ideas out there. But if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. If you have any questions, if you think Tesla's going to go down, let me know why. If you think it's going to go up, I don't really care, because when it's going up, it will be going up. So I'm just kidding, but see ya.